Alright, ladies, when a man seems completely into you from the very beginning, he's usually doing one of three things. He's feeling something missing in himself, he's trying to get something from you, or he's genuinely falling for you. And in the beginning, all three can feel exactly the same. The attention is there, the chemistry is there, and most women cannot tell the difference until they're already emotionally invested. Think about it, okay? If you're smart, and if you're pretty good at reading people in every other area of your life, why is it so difficult to see the signs when you really like a man? My name is Ismael Gomez and I coach women like you to attract a man who values you. And today I'm going to show you what is love bombing. What is actually going on inside a man's mind when he does this, and what he can mean every single word that he says in the moment and still not actually want you. Okay, so let's begin. He confuses intensity with love. Most women hear love bombing and they picture a manipulator, a man with a plan who knew exactly what he was doing. And those men exist, but not every man who love bombs you is calculating like that, okay? Sometimes he actually meant every single word that he said. He wasn't lying to you, he was lying to himself because he felt something intense and he called it love, when what he was really feeling was lust, excitement, novelty, the high of meeting someone new. And because he doesn't understand the difference yet, he tells you exactly what he feels in the moment. Like, I've never felt this way before, you're so special, I've never met anybody like you. I mean, let me tell you that when I look back at my 20s, there were so many occasions where I told women things that I genuinely felt and meant in the moment, and then a couple of weeks later, I didn't even like her anymore. And honestly, I was so confused by all of this. I remember even thinking, probably I'm never going to be able to fall in love, like I'm never going to be able to sustain attraction with somebody. And I could see that she was very confused, by all these mixed signals, but I wasn't sitting there thinking, how can I manipulate this woman? I genuinely didn't understand my own emotions yet. Now, the interesting part is that for men who never develop this self-awareness, this doesn't necessarily stop with age, okay? They can repeat the same cycle well into the 40s, 50s, and beyond. And this is the most frustrating part for a lot of you, that he can be a decent man with good intentions and still hurt you deeply because he spoke with certainty about feelings that he didn't understand yet. And I want you to think about it this way, right? And pay attention, because most women don't understand this. You can have two men, all right? And one of them can set your house on fire on purpose, and this is a manipulator. And the other man, okay, he can be really excited because he just got to know you, and he can be in your living room and set off fireworks to celebrate. So either man with good or bad intentions, they're both going to burn down your house. So his intentions don't protect you, your standards do. So early on, stop asking, does he mean what he's actually saying? Because like I said, many times he will. The better question is, has enough time passed for his actions to prove what he's saying? Because a man can be completely sincere the first month that he met you and feel completely different by month 2. Speed removes your ability to evaluate him. Going at a slow and normal pace, you can notice things. You can see how he handles a disagreement, what happens when plans change, and whether the man that you're hearing on the phone every night is actually consistent with the man that you're meeting in real life. But when everything moves really fast, you don't get enough time to see any of that. The daily calls, the future talk, all these plans that you have already, suddenly you're attached to a man that you barely know. You're so busy feeling the excitement and the adrenaline that you don't get a chance to assess it. And again, he may not be doing this intentionally, he may just be caught up in the moment like you, but the result is always the same. He gets access to things that normally take time to earn. Your body, your trust, your heart, he gets access to all of this before you even had enough time to see who he actually is. And that is where a lot of you get into trouble, because trust is not supposed to come from how strongly you feel about someone, it's supposed to come from what you consistently see from them. So when a man is moving a lot faster than you can think, slow it down. Talking about having kids on the second date, talking about converting to your religion after 1 month. This actually happened to a client. Slow it down, slow him down. And it's not because he's dangerous, like I said, it's because you can't evaluate a man that you haven't had enough time to observe. He didn't create the need, he found it. Now, this is the part that most videos don't touch, and that is that love bombing doesn't work the same on every woman. Some of you ladies get all the attention in month one, and it feels like too much. You feel uncomfortable, you pull back, but I know that some of you feel it and you think, finally someone sees me. Finally, I don't have to try so hard. And that difference matters because all that attention is not necessarily creating a need in you. It may be landing on one that was already there. If you have spent years, in relationships and dating, always being the one that gives more, the one that holds everything together, then when a man comes into your life who is calling you every night and tells you that you're incredible, this is not just attractive to you, this is an immense relief. Now, let me be clear that this is not a flaw, this is not that you're broken. Feeling seen, being understood is an amazing feeling, right? You didn't ask to always be the strong one in the relationship, taking care of everybody else. But remember that this is always your responsibility, okay? Not him, not your radar, but actually what is going on inside you. So again, the question is not always, how do I spot the right man, all the green flags? Sometimes the deeper question is, why does, attention from a man that I really like, why does it feel like a scarce resource? Why does it feel like water in the desert? Because the thing is, when you don't know how to create abundance, when you're that thirsty, you don't even stop to ask, where did this water come from? You just see it, you're like, liquid, I really need it right now. And that is the part that most women skip when you're working on yourself. You learn the signs of love bombing, but you never really address the part of you that made you feel all this attention like you were craving it so much. Because let me tell you that once attention stops feeling like something that you're starving for, you can finally evaluate the man who's giving it to you. Alright, ladies, so this is what I really want you to take away from this video today, and that is that you can know exactly what love bombing is and still want it, still crave it, because knowing the name of something doesn't stop you from wanting it and how it makes you feel. And that is the part that nobody tells you. You're going to see all the signs of love bombing, you're going to see a man going really fast, but you're going to have that quiet voice in your head telling you, but what if this one is different? Imagine if you have the belief that loyal men don't exist, or there's only a few of them and they're already taken. Again, when you go out there and you find one of these guys, you're going to call him a unicorn. Okay, I just had a client that was saying that, referring to a man as a unicorn. And the first thing that I told her, if you see him as a unicorn, when the unicorn walks away, you're going to be chasing like, okay, I can't find this anywhere else. And that is the gap, okay? Understanding all of this that I'm telling you intellectually, but when you see the guy that you really like and he's giving you all this attention and you're still going to respond the same way. And if this doesn't change, if your reactions don't change, 6 months from now, it's going to be a different man, a different face, but you're going to be having the same conversation with yourself. Now, if you want to get more practical about understanding some of the things that you're doing and so you start changing them, I actually made one video and it's titled, Never Tell a Man These 5 Things, No Matter How Much You Like Him. Because love bombing is not about only the man going too quickly, it's also about the things that you reveal about yourself sometimes way too fast. So watch that video because I think it's going to help you. Anyways, thank you for subscribing to my channel, and remember that for your relationships to change, you need to change, okay? Have a beautiful day.